if you're an Xbox Series X owner, you're going to want to pay attention to this video because it's going to be one for the ages as far as I'm concerned. This is really, really good news, and I know a lot of people have been kind of wondering about these type of updates and, what it's going to mean. And in particular, I think, graphically, this is really cool to see, and this is also something that I feel like, on the positive side, it's nice to see it. On the negative side, I think, like, maybe it took a little long time for this to be an actual thing. I just really wish that, we lived in a day and age where some of this stuff wasn't needed after the fact, I guess, so to speak. But anyway, should be a good video. Make sure you guys slap that like button and, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already done so. So, speaking of updates, I know the Xbox Series X is quite a capable machine, despite the fact that a lot of developers, even Microsoft's own, don't really take very big advantage of it. What I mean by that is, a lot of times they're too busy pushing things out the door. What we've seen so far, right? Like, so Starfield would be the biggest example of this. It was kind of obvious that that game was capable of doing 60 frames or thereabouts on the Xbox Series X, but we didn't get the option for it, Stuff like Redfall, not a great game, but it's a game that launched at 30 frames per second when it was obvious that game, the way that it looks, should really run at 120 on the Xbox Series X. But again, it gets patched in later. Starfield patched in later. One of the only other big releases that we've gotten that's been like a quote-unquote next-gen game has been Forza Motorsport, and I have to be honest, as someone who is a Forza Motorsport fan, this game looked, it looked pretty good, but it didn't look amazing, especially considering it wasn't a cross-gen game. But now, finally, after Update 9, it gets a big visual upgrade on the Series X, so things look much different. They look much, much better. But it begs the question, why wasn't this the way it should have been in the first place, right? Like, if you just want to get real about it, like, why was this even a thing to where it needed such an upgrade, months and months and months later, 7-8 months later? To me, that doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense, and it really just kind of goes to show sort of where we're at with this whole type of situation, where games are launching well before they're ready, and I hate to say that, but it's just the truth. Like, listen, anything can happen, but when you see, like, the difference on this, and I'll link this in the description, you guys can check it out for yourself. So anyway, earlier, Turn 10 Studios dropped Forza Motorsport Update 9, which came with complete with a free DLC offer on Xbox. However, one other difference that flew under the radar was a pretty big upgrade to the game's visuals. The dev team had made some massive graphical changes in Update 9. Now, we finally got a good look at these changes in a video, which, like I said, I'm going to link that, which compares older updates to Update 9 footage across every track in the game, and the lighting looks like it's changed quite a bit, giving the game a more colorful look, where the overall contrast just seems to pop a lot more. And I can say, honestly, things look much sharper and much better. According to this, undocumented improvement to visuals, color grading, and contrast enhancements, better atmospheric scattering, sky rendering improvements. So I'm going to have to hop on and try this out for myself, because it does look so much better. But now that we've seen just how different the game looks after this June update, it's very tempting to go back in there and get it. Yeah, it's a 100+ gigabyte update, or to kind of get this game. I think you have to maybe reinstall the entire thing. They did overall reduce the overall size of this thing, but yeah, you know what? It looks so much more vibrant and clear. And it's just sad that, this game came out and I was like looking forward to it, because if you think about this for a second, Forza Motorsport 7 came out with, one of these things where the game looked good, but it came out in 2017. So we get Forza Motorsport, which is just, I guess a retelling of the game or whatever. That's supposed to be like more of a game as a service type thing. So we get this 6 years after the last one, and it was actually worse off, right? These games used to be every other year, right? We'd get a Forza Motorsport, then a Forza Horizon, then a Forza Motorsport, then a Forza Horizon, and they were both great. Like, the Horizon games were great, Motorsport games were great. how did they take 6 years to make a game and then have it take steps back? It's like, I think that's the big question that a lot of people have for Xbox in general when we look at these things and we're sitting there going, I wonder what really changed here. That's really the problem I think that a lot of us are kind of having with this, is that, we didn't really get the game that we thought we'd get. We thought all this great ray tracing and it would be, this huge upgrade or whatever. And when people were showing it off to, like Digital Foundry and stuff like that, we were seeing that, and it was just kind of one of those situations where, we were kind of looking at this and going, this doesn't look really much better than, say, the GT7, which was a cross-gen game on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and even had a VR compatibility. So, how can that possibly be? Especially when you know that the Xbox Series X is technically more powerful than the PlayStation 5. So I think that's the thing that really kind of bothered a lot of people. But, again, at the end of the day, we're sitting there kind of looking at this and maybe going, it's such a shame that we had to wait 9 updates for this, so anyway, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited about updates like this? Are you a Forza Motorsport fan? To me, I feel like we're in a situation where Forza used to be like so good, like the motorsport game kind of held their own, and now I think people really just more look forward to the Horizon series, which, hey, listen, I love the Horizon series, very much like an arcadey type of thing, and I think that's fine. When we're sitting here looking at how things are kind of going in the way for the Xbox Series X, we need more of this. I really think that this is a situation where Xbox could do a better job and really kind of attract more people in terms of what they can do. So I hope that Microsoft continue to do these things, and that they have games that can showcase the Xbox Series X, because as of date, I feel like we haven't really got that. Like, I think Hellblade looks really good, but just the way that they kind of letterbox that, and the way that they kind of do that, and it's 30 frames or whatever, just kind of comes across, and it's so slow, just kind of comes across as something that's not really all that great. So again, hopefully anyway, we'll see something come from this. Like, I think Xbox has a great console. They've got some good ideas, but when you see stuff like this, like, okay, well, we finally fixed our game half a year after it came out, I think that's a bit of the problem. And I think that's the thing where people are kind of maybe a little bit fed up with Microsoft and things like that. It's like, if a game is going to take 6 more months, then it's going to take 6 more months. It kind of is what it is, right? Like, I don't know how else to say it, but hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from with that. And it's not a place of hate at all. I think Xbox can be really, really great, and it just really kind of comes down to, are they going to be able to have the way to compete with PlayStation? Like, there's no way. Like, if you think about it, and I think this is like a big problem, is even their own games that they put on PlayStation are so much better on PlayStation. 4 of the 5 or whatever were much better on PlayStation. And so when you look at these things, I'm just kind of shaking my head just a bit about kind of what's going on. So it is nice to see that there's been some upgrades and things like that. Microsoft does have a very capable, powerful machine. I think it really is going to come down to making sure that these things are optimized before before. I understand, yes, you want some quality of life improvements and things. Maybe the reason why this was an undocumented upgrade is because it was embarrassing to them. Listen, I don't really know. I don't pretend to be some kind of genius when it comes to video games or anything like that. I'm just a person who likes video games, likes talking about video games. So that's why I do what I do. And I think that's why some people anyway, the few that do watch my channel and watch my videos, enjoy them, is because I come from a passionate place as a gamer. And anybody that's seen like the streams that I've done live or whatever, I have a huge game collection, so I just love gaming. I want to see Microsoft and Xbox be around for a long time in that sector. So Hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. But like I said, I'll link this in the description. It's a nice upgrade. Check it out if you're a Forza Motorsport fan. Even if you wrote the game off previously, it's worth trying out again. Thank you so much for watching. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.